Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. So today I'm going to be showing you guys how you can upgrade the look of your room by doing a couple of modern updates. I'm going to be going over how you can upgrade your crown molding, your baseboards, your window trim, outlets, light fixtures, all those kind of things to really set your room apart from everybody else. So let's get right into it. The first thing I'm going to start off with is the crown molding. So in this pantry, the crown molding is already removed. It was absolutely terrible. They had pieces over other pieces in the corner and it was just weird. So I removed it and I'm going to start with that. So let's get right into it. I'm going to be using a 1x4 as my crown molding. A lot of people might not agree with me, but in my opinion, I think this is a very easy way for any DIYer to put on a crown molding or replace crown molding and give it a modern minimalistic look. It's very easy, straightforward to put in, and that's what I'm going to be doing right here. I'm also going to be doing the same thing for the baseboard. Instead, I'm going to be using a 1x6, which again will give me that modern clean look. So I'm going to be installing this, and then you guys can be a judge by the end of this and let me know if it looks good or bad. So this is what's going in. So let's do it. When I installed this crown molding, I used a stud finder to make sure I get those nails straight into the studs. I also did the same thing for the baseboards. As you guys can see here, this door frame is sticking out more than 1.5 inches. I had to go ahead and cut it all the way off to make sure it's smooth and flat with the rest of the wall, so my trim can sit on it completely flat without building it up and doing a whole bunch of crazy things. Next it was the window trim, which I pre-assembled, and that made for an easy install. Another way you can update your room is by changing out the slide switches and your outlets. You can do the flat switches, which is a little bit of a modern look, or you can change it out to a different color. We are gonna do black because it just gives a little bit of contrast in this pantry. I would recommend turn the power off when you are working on electricity. I'm unfortunately gonna have to try to do it with the power on, because if I turn it on, it will be dark and I would not have light in here. So I'm going to do my best and do this safely. And as you guys can see, the previous owner decided spray foam is needed to hold this in place. So I'm going to have to take this out and then kind of figure out how to get it back. Okay guys, so the last thing that I want to mention is how you can upgrade your room is by upgrading the light fixtures. There are a lot of cost-effective lights on Amazon, like for example the one we got here that I'm going to put in. I'm going to put in 3 of them. This actually costs only about $35 or $40. So I'm going to show you guys the ones we're going to go for. That's going to complete this look. So before the lights that was in here was the boob lights, which is very popular, and they put it I think in every house in America, and that's definitely an easy way to upgrade it. I know there is a lady that recently came up with a thing that you can put a nice decorative piece around those boob lights. However, I prefer to just replace it with something pretty cool. So this is what we got. It's kind of like a reed looking light fixture, and I think it's gonna look awesome with the rest of the styling of the pantry. I would recommend to actually check the light fixtures descriptions, because it happened one time. We bought a light, it was super cool, and then it turned out it was for 240 volts and it did not work. So definitely make sure it's spec for America and works on 110 volts. So let's go ahead and put this in. Okay, so we got the trim all finished up. As you guys can see around this window trim, I did fill it up, sand it down, so it's ready for the paint. And that's gonna be the next step so we can get this pantry looking good and fresh. Okay guys, so for the painting of the trim, I would highly recommend to use this Pro Classic from Sherwin-Williams. It's a door and trim paint. I've been using it for a very long time and it really leaves an awesome finish. I prefer the trim and doors to be a little bit more on the glossier side, so I use a semi-gloss. All my trim is already primed, so I'm just gonna go ahead and put some paint on it. I'll probably do 2 coats just to give it that extra smooth finish, and let's see what it looks like. Okay, so just a quick look after we painted the trim and it's looking fresh. As you guys can see, we got a smooth transition in between the baseboard and the door trim, and it goes up all the way super smooth. So it's a small thing to do, but it definitely makes a big difference in the way it looks. We also updated our outlets to black outlets, and it definitely gives it a little bit of contrast. And then also you guys can see the window trim. We went away with the traditional window trim or trim that was usually used around windows and just went for a plain 1x4, and it's a really nice clean finish. And then last but not least, we also updated the light fixture. We went away with the boob lights and we updated with this awesome looking light. It definitely makes it a lot different and a super awesome finish. Okay guys, that's gonna be a wrap for this video. Hopefully some of you got a couple of tips on how to transform your room, even if it's just by throwing on a little bit of paint on your baseboards and trim. It'll definitely brighten up any room. For those of you that is new to the channel, we are actually in the middle of remodeling this complete lake house that was built in the 60s. So definitely, if you don't want to miss that, hit that subscribe button. In the next video, we are going to be doing a complete before and after of this pantry. We're going to get everything back in where it's supposed to be and get the rest of our house back, because currently everything is just all over. It's a big old mess. So yeah, definitely stay tuned for that. With all that being said, thank you so much for all the love and support. Until next time, goodbye. I think it is a modern way, version of crown molding in your a 1x4 for. In the next video, we are gonna be in the next video we are